I hope everybody got a chance to see the first video we did on Minster Farmers. That was a lawsuit where Dick Brackert, the general manager at the time, broke an agreement with me that cost me $41,000. He wouldn't make it right. I went to the board. They said that was not their problem, so nothing happened. I even talked to their attorney, and he realized that they were having problems, but still nothing happened. So it went on, and every month, somebody from the elevator, along with the credit guy, would come out and want me to pay, wanted to know when I was going to pay the bills. Well, I kept telling them it's not going to happen until they make things right with me. But there's one thing, at the time I was having trouble, that one of the employees at Minster Farmers tipped me off that there were some major problems with the bookkeeping system at the elevator. And the first thing I did notice, and this would be on Exhibit A, which is also known as Exhibit 41, which is used in some of the trials, and with the balance that I owed never changing, monthly changes in the service charge would be 1 month here it was $283, $766, $456, $638, $565. It was just all over the board. And with the principal balance of just a touch over $10,000 is what they claim. At 2% a month is $200 a month, approximately $2,500 a year, for a total of 6 years, which would be $15,000 plus the $10,000. Or it's almost, it depends, I guess, which paper you look at. Some's 10, some's 11. And they sued me, saying that I owed them $55,000 and some odd dollars. Well, if you figure up that $10,000 plus 6 years at $2,500 a year, that comes to a total of $25,000. Where do they come up to $55,000? Well, let's see if we can find out some stuff. First of all, we caught them charging above the statutory rate of interest. But also, in Exhibit B, after Meyer and Associates redid the interest the way it was supposed to be done, it showed I owed $15,868. Big difference from the $55,000 they said I owed. And they were pretty desperate to get me to pay this, because they took me to, when they were in court, they tried to foreclose on me. Keep that from happening, I had to come up with the $56,000 cash bond. During this period of time, I bought $126,162 worth of products. I paid $128,745 in. Now, this is according to what Meyer and company came up with. Minster Farmers said I bought $126,401. Now, there's about $250 difference there. And even on what they said I paid them, there's a difference there. Now let's go back to the very beginning. When you look at A and B, the one shows the balance as of 12/31/98 of $11,953. This other one shows $11,161. There's $800 difference. And these were both supposed to be the same exact papers that were given to the courts and to the accounting firm to figure out. Now, if we go to, well, the Supreme Court said we had to go back to the day I started doing business with Minster Farmers, which is back in 1973. Even during my deposition, I stated that I started dealing with Minster Farmers back in the mid-1970s. I wasn't for sure just what year. But Stevenson said, well, we didn't have to start figuring it until 1988, the year I bought a $25 share in the elevator. So when did they start? December 98. 25 years after the Ohio Supreme Court ruled they had to start. 10 years after Stevenson said they had to start. Now, why did they wait that long? Well, an argument from Michael Burton, who was the attorney for Minster Farmers. This would be Exhibit E we're using here. Recall these spreadsheets start with the last time that dues and Meyer accounts had a zero balance and came to the present. So what Burton is saying, I had a zero balance when they started these papers back on December of 1998. So now why does it show I have so much, I owe so much more? Okay, we'll go to exhibits F and G. These are two that I got from Bob Dews. One is the original, which we had in his records, and when he asked for his discovery, they gave him one. It looks to most people the same. I showed it to dozens of people. Nobody could find the difference except for accountants. One quick look and every one of them found the differences. Now if you look, you will see at the top of these invoices, there is 5 branches listed across on the original. The reprint or copy, which is the same thing, only shows 4 across. So we got one difference there. You go to the bottom and you will see that the terms at the bottom are different. And if you slip up to the nursing formula, if you look, you will see the one has a 10-digit number in front of it, the other one doesn't. And if you also look down here at the bottom, you will see the one has a 50 on it, the other one doesn't. So there are 4 differences. But anybody knows you stick a document or a piece of paper of any sort into a copier, it's going to come, it's going to shoot out a paper that's going to be exactly the same as what went in. There's differences. Now, we'll look at a little bit about Dave Riker. He was convicted in the Auglaize County Municipal Court on December 11th, 2001 for tampering with records. Kind of looks like that's what happened here. Because I should have, according to their attorney, I had a zero balance, and it shows I have roughly $11,000 balance. He was disciplined for writing out bad checks. He resigned his general manager position around March the 13th of 2006 for a violation of the board's established credit policy. Well, he didn't resign. He was fired on March the 6th. Riker owes the defendant, the elevator, money on account for a debt incurred subsequent to his deposition testimony on July the 21st, 2005. Okay, here are 3 different invoices from one from my brother Arthur, marked J, one from another brother Steve, marked I, and one from me, number 4, or H, sorry. You will see that on Steve and Arthur's papers, that shows 5 of the branches across the top. You look at mine, it only says 4. So these papers that Bob Dews showed me proved that they were running 2 sets of books. And I went back and I checked a bunch more of my invoices. Compared to my brother's, theirs always showed 5. Mine all show just 4 of the branches across the top. These are not from the original set of books. These are from the second set of books. So what happened over there? What happened to all the money? I had a zero balance. They added money to it. And if you figured everything right down to the nitty gritty, at no time did I owe Minster Farmers anything. They finagled the figures around so bad that it made it look like I did, but then with everybody catching the things that were going on, there was no way I owed them anything. If anything, they probably owed me money. On exhibits K, L, and M, it shows starting at 1/31/02 after I quit paying anything on my account. That month it showed my interest bill was $511. Next month was $283. Following month was $765. Then $456, $638. They should all been right around $200, figuring the $11,000 that we started out with. And if you figure that zero balance, like the elevator's attorney said we had, I owed them absolutely nothing. So instead of these big ridiculous figures all over the place, and finally it gets up to $1,100 here. The last statement I ever got from him said the interest is $1,802. I owed him $97,059. Now, how many people do they do this to? They realize that most people will not fight them. Thank God, a friend of mine, Bob Dews, fought him. He's the one that cut the problem on the invoices that approved the 2 sets of books. And he showed me some things, and as I was looking through my files, I was able to find the same thing that he had found. We had a CPA on the executive board, and I'm sure the guy that tipped me off about the problem with the books had also tipped off the executive board, if not the whole board. Somebody should have been doing some checking on it. Now, we don't have an elevator just because he decided he wants to screw it up. And how much money did he get away with, or whoever get away with? There's a bunch came up missing. Then eventually it got to the point where Minster Farmers is in financial trouble, and that's the reason they had to merge with All Glaze Farmers to become Advanced Agri Solutions, which now is part of Sunrise. So I hope in a little bit you'll get a chance to view all these different documents we have, and hopefully you can understand. If you have any questions, try to get a hold of me, and I'll try to explain them a little bit better. While this is all kind of fresh in your mind, well, I want you to go to directly to the next video, because I'm just going to compare what was going on with the Minster Farmers and what was going on in crop production. I'm also going to bring another co-op into this. Thank you.